That's Karl.
That's Emma.
And this is
Rittal
Rittal
Unboxed. So Emma, we've had a summer break, we're all refreshed and ready to go. So what are we going to cover in today's episode?
We're going to talk about the Application Centre.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the Application Centre launch earlier this year.
Yeah.
Which was a fabulous event. We had customers attend, we had somebody from Gambika come to us, we had the press there. So effectively, the Application Centre, for those that don't know, we've got a dedicated modification centre here at the Hellaby site.
Yes.
Part of the Application Centre is it showcases a lot of the machines that we offer for modification services.
Yep.
So the CNC milling machines, we can do pre-configuration work here, we can showcase E-plan and smart wiring. So the centre itself can be used if customers want panels modifying. Obviously, sometimes there's a skill shortage, a staff shortage, or just the actual capacity that customers have. We can actually take on that overflow work for them, or do all those modifications, or the configuration work. But also, many of our customers now are actually purchasing these machines that automate their panel building. Yeah. So in terms of doing modifications, or their small semi-automated machines that actually does wire preparation, or they want to actually see the E-plan smart wiring, actually physically see it.
Yeah, how it works in real life, how it connects. And it's that whole value chain, isn't it? Seeing how it all connects and getting a flavour of it before maybe they want to dip the toe and invest.
It is. And like I said, before actually investing, people want to see what those machines can actually do.
Of course.
So what we do is we encourage customers to come here. We sit down, we have a conversation with them about their business, where are their bottlenecks, what are the problems that they're facing. So we have that initial discussion with them first to understand, what would benefit them. And then we take them through to the Application Centre and actually show them some of the machines that would actually help with the problems that they're facing.
Yeah,
so that's the whole point about the Application Centre. So it's a way of showcasing machines and services that we can offer, but also people can actually use that to get panels modified.
Absolutely. Pre-built. Yeah, no, it sounds interesting, and I've had the tour. It's really good, really interesting. But I think the best thing to do for this episode would just be hand over to Christian Westwood, who covers our Application Centre, and I think he'll be able to go into more detail and give us a tour.
Absolutely.
So, over to you, Christian.
Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Karl. Let's have a look at some of the machines in the Application Centre. When it comes to enclosure modification, then there are two options available. One is using a laser machine, which is our laser centre, and the second option is a milling terminal, an example of which we have here. There are actually three models available in this range, and this is the middle one of the three. And it's considered to be the most versatile in terms of the enclosures and the panels that can be modified it from a flat perspective, and also enclosures that can be retained within the machine as well. When we look at enclosure modification, then the data that we use is typically produced in E-plan, and we take that data, import it into the machine, and from that we can produce the panels that we require. So in this instance here, we have the door and the mounting plate from an AX project that we pre-prepared. We have obviously cutouts for fan and filter units, for isolator buttons, and then also for the components or DIN rail and cable ducts which are installed on the mounting plate itself. As I said, this is all done on a milling terminal, so we have the capability to drill, to tap, and also to mill out enclosure components on this machine. As you can see, there's an open space on the left-hand side. That's going to allow you to put a full enclosure in there. So those panels that can't be removed, a full enclosure can be put in, and that can be modified as well. Typically, we have 5 drills, 4 taps, and 1 milling bit on this machine when it's supplied as standard, and that milling bit, a 6mm bit, is pretty versatile and can do most cutouts that you would see on most enclosures. The one thing that we can't do in this machine is deburring, but if you choose modification integration as a service from the Application Centre, then that's something that our staff would carry out for you, our colleagues would carry out for you, so that basically they would deburr the products and touch up with paint afterwards to ensure that they're not only aesthetically correct but also safe to handle as well. Having seen enclosure modification on the Perfrex, I hope that you're able to see how much time that could potentially save. We've had estimates from some companies where floor standing mounting plates can take up to 8 hours to modify, and those would typically be done in about 15 minutes on the Perfrex. So there's a considerable time saving to be made there. But what we're looking at now is our Secrex, which is our component cutting centre, or our cutting centre. And on this we prepare wire ducts or cable ducts, and also DIN rails as well. And I think in terms of time saving, this is the area that I underestimated the most. When you talk to customers and you consider how long it takes to manually lay out a mounting plate, ensuring that DIN rails and wire ducts or cable ducts are all horizontal, vertical, perpendicular to each other, that can take a huge amount of time. If you then consider that those components are laid out and drilled manually, there's a potential for errors as well. So what this machine does is it takes the data that's generated in E-Plan, the same data that we used on the Perfex machine, and it allows us to cut to length the cable ducts and DIN rail that we're going to fit onto our mounting plate. Not only does it optimise the length of the cable duct to ensure that we are cutting in a specific location, we're avoiding the teeth or the fingers that are on the wire ducts, but it also optimises material usage as well. We've had inquiries recently that not only consider this from a time-saving perspective, but also from a reduction of waste perspective. So it really does tick all the boxes in terms of how you can truly benefit from digitalisation or automation. It just ensures that DIN rails and cable ducts fit to mounting plates first time, every time, saving time and also reducing waste as well. So having modified enclosures and also fit onto the mounting plate any DIN rails, cable ducts that we need, we now move on to the final stage of panel manufacture, and that is in wire preparation and also wiring itself. So what can we do to speed up or make these processes easier? What we have here is a wire station. It's been kitted out with a number of our machines. So we have a wire cutting machine, we also have a crimping machine, and finally we have a printer as well. So everything that you need to do with wire preparation can all be done from this wire station, which is adjustable to ensure that you can have an ergonomic working position. The wires that you see on the screen, this is actually from Smart Production, so one of our E-Plan products. And what we can do is download the information for the project into the cutting machine, and we can cut the wires in the same orders as they appear on the screen. So not only is it simpler, easier and more time or less time consuming to actually prepare the wires in terms of cutting them over here and crimping them here, it also simplifies the wiring process. We don't need to go through wiring schematics anymore. We can simply work on a tick list effectively on our screen and fit those wires into the enclosure or wire our enclosure as per the design that you can see here. Personally, I would tend to see this as the first step, the test, the toe in the water when it comes to digitalisation and automation, where most companies would first look to go, I guess, on an automation journey. Makes a lot of sense, as wire preparation and wiring itself is the area, or are the areas, where most time can be saved. And it's a pretty simple but effective solution. All the information or all the wires that you can prepare on the wire station can then be obviously fitted into your enclosure. And here we have the finished AX enclosure. So it's been modified on the Perfex, it's had components cut on the Secarex, and now finally it's been wired using the wire station. It's actually installed on one of our assembly frames, which again is just another piece of kit which from a health and safety perspective can help your colleagues in terms of working in more an ergonomic position, a comfortable position, avoiding stresses and strains and that type of thing. It's also just one of the examples that we have of the handling equipment here in the application centre. So if you do want to see more, then don't hesitate to book a visit and come down and see us.
So as we've already seen from that video there is a lot of stuff in that application centre, a lot of opportunity and a lot of ways for customers to invigorate their business and, you know, take things to the next level. Really impressive.
It's a real game changer.
It is.
And like I said, times are moving forward, technology's moving on. So for customers to be at the forefront, they really need to start embracing some of these services and machinery and automation as part of their business. So if this is of interest to anybody and you'd like to visit the application centre, then please get in touch with the local area sales manager, or you can contact us on the details below that you see on the screen there.
Yeah, so again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it after the summer break. Please like, subscribe, keep your eyes out for the next episode, and we'll see you soon.